Hi folks, today I'd like to talk about the minor pentatonic scales, 5 shapes of the A minor pentatonic. Why would we want to learn them? Well, a scale shape basically gives you an idea of how to play the notes, how to find the notes on the fretboard without memorizing where every note actually is on the fretboard. Okay, it's not that you have to go out and memorize every single note on the fretboard. You can if you like. A scale shape basically is like a chord shape. Like when you learn a G chord, you learn a G chord, you're not really focused on what notes are making up the actual chord. You're just playing the chord. You're making a shape, you're playing the chord. Same thing with a scale shape. When you learn a scale shape, you learn the scale shape, like so. You're not focused more on every note that you're playing. You're focused on the shape that you're playing. Okay. Now you focus on the root notes of these shapes so you can move them into different keys. That's the key thing to do with these scale shapes. You learn your scale shape. It allows you to play the right notes in the key. Now your job is to take those notes, mix them up, and experiment with them. It's called note choice. You take those notes, you mix them around, you play them different ways, you play them to backing tracks, you learn how to play to a drum beat, you learn how to play to a backing track, a rhythm. You lock into that. That takes time. You practice that, okay? Musical phrasing is like singing. You know, you sing a melody, you play a melody. It's the same idea, okay? So go ahead, learn your 5 minor pentatonic shapes, come back, watch this video. We're going to break down each shape. We're going to try to impose each shape into this backing track that I have prepared for you. And then you can see how the shapes actually connect together, because they do connect together. And you know, that's your gateway to playing over the fretboard. You know, just focus on the shapes themselves. Okay. So when we come back, we're going to look at each of the 5 pentatonic minor scale shapes. We'll play them, we'll learn them, then we'll apply them to a backing track, and then we'll try to connect them all together to come up with some really cool ideas, some note choice, some runs, whatever you'd like to call it, okay? Thanks. Pentatonic shapes. Hey folks, welcome back to the video. The 5 A minor pentatonic shapes. Glad you guys learned them. Now we're going to take a look at each one, break it down, see how they connect together, and how can we use them over a backing track. So we'll start with shape 1. Shape 1 on the 5th fret of the low E string. We have 5-8, which we'll use our first and pinky finger to play. Now, if you just lay your 4 fingers down on the 5, 6, 7, 8 frets, you'll notice that each finger is dedicated to a fret. In this shape, this is how you can remember the shape easy. First and pinky will land on the 5 and 8 fret if you do it this way, okay? So you have 5, 6, 7, 8. You have 4 fingers down. First and pinky is 5, 8, okay? When you get to your next string, is your A string. It's first and third, which gives you 5 and 7 fret, okay? So you see that? Okay. Same idea on the D string. It's first and third, which is the 5 and 7. First and third on the G string is 5 and 7. First and pinky on the B string gives me my 5, 8. And first and pinky on the high E string gives me my 5, 8 as well. So if you look at how the shape is broken down and how you can memorize it, is your low E string is first pinky, you see? Your high E and your high B, or sorry, your B and high E string, are first and pinky as well, okay? So they're both 5/8, okay? So you got 5/8 up top, 5/8 on the bottom two here, okay? Now, on the A string, you have 5/7. On the D string, you have 5/7. And on the G string, you have 5/7. You're using your first, third, first, third, first, third. So it's first, pinky, first, third, first, third, first, third, first, pinky, first, pinky. The reason you do that is that when you move it to a different key, say you move it up to the 10th fret, which is a D note, it's your D minor shape 1 of the D minor pentatonic, okay? So now it's first pinky. Now I have 10, 13. It's no longer 5, 8, it's 10, 13, but it's still first pinky. You lay your 4 fingers across the 10, the 11, the 12, and the 13, and you start using the same shape. First pinky, first, third, first, third, first, third, first, pinky, first, pinky. That's how you memorize this shape, okay? All right, so go back to your 5th fret. We'll put it in the key of A minor. Okay, now what we want to do is we want to play it back and forth like a scale, but now we want to play it more musically. We want to put some phrasing. We want to try to make some melodies, okay? So let's just take, we'll take our D and our G string of shape 1. Okay? That's called note choice. You're just mixing the notes up, changing the order of the notes, creating melodies, okay? You apply it to a backing track, same idea. You just play along with that backing track. Focus on shape 1, okay? Don't worry about the other shapes right yet. Just focus on shape 1. What can I do with shape 1, right? Just play around with it with the backing track. Get used to it, okay? All right, so now you have shape 1 down. You have this much of the neck to play to, okay? And that's okay, you know, but I'd like to have a little bit more of the neck to play with, okay? So let's take shape 2, which is next to shape 1, okay? So we have 8-10 on the low E. We have 7-10 on the A. We have 7-10 on the D. We have 7-9 on the G string. We have 8-10 on the B. And we have 8-10 on the E. All right, so whenever I was trying to connect the shapes together, I would think of, like, you know, being on a 2-lane highway and I'm in and out of the lanes, okay? So say I'm on the left lane here on shape 1. And I want to kind of get into the other lane, right? So shape 2, so... Now that I know that shape 2 on the G string has the 7 and 9, and then on shape 1 it's 5 and 7 on the G string, I can add these together like so. So by sliding into shape 2, I'm kind of even moving my hand into that position, right? So I'm setting myself up to grab some other notes in that shape. So. Okay, that's that note there from shape 2 on the B string, on the 8th fret. And you'll notice that I'll slide with my 3rd finger, and I might come back and slide with the 1st finger. See? So I'm moving positions. I'm going in and out of shapes. Okay, now shape 1 and shape 2, in behind shape 1 is shape 5, okay? Shape 5 will give you like 3-5-3-5 and a low E and A string. On the D string, it's 2-5-2-5. And then again on the B and high E string, it's 3-5-3-5. Now if you look at that shape, 4 strings are actually the same, look. So you have your low E and A string, 3-5-3-5, and your B and high E string are 3-5-3-5. So the only 2 odd ducks in this is the 2-5-2-5 and the D and G string. But see what I'm doing there? I have first pinky, first pinky, first third, first third, first third, first third, first pinky, first pinky, first third, first third. Okay, so I get to the bottom of shape 5. Where do I go? Well... I can slide up into shape 1. So I'm already on the 5th fret, which shares shape 1 and 5. They both share that note. So by sliding from the 5th fret to the 8th fret, now I'm in shape 1. So I can go down shape 5 like so, slide up into shape 1. I can go down shape 1 and slide up into shape 2, okay? Same idea. So we're going to try to connect these 3 shapes together over the backing track so you can see what I mean, okay? So now, by having 3 shapes to play over, I have a little bit more fretboard to work with, okay? So basically, I'm just taking those shapes, I'm connecting them, okay? Another cool thing you could do with the shapes is just think of it on any string, okay? If you want to go ahead, look. You could slide in and out of the shapes that way. I could skip over a shape and actually go from shape 5, slide right into shape 2 if I wanted to. That was into shape 3 there, okay? So you could do that all day long, connecting shapes, okay? I used to take like 2 strings of each shape and try to connect them all together. For example, like your high E string and your B string, shape 5, you're sitting here at 3-5, 3-5. And then on shape 1, it's 5-8, 5-8. And then on shape 2, it's 8-10, 8-10. And shape 3, you got 10, 13, 10, 12. And then on shape 4, you have 13, 15, 12, 15. And then on shape 5, you have 15, 17, 15, 17. Which kind of brings me back to my A string, right? So I can connect those guys all together like so. It's a nice little exercise. It also allows you to familiarize yourself with all the shapes, how they can connect together. You can use this over this backing track. It's great. Great exercise if you do this, okay?